Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week, to make things better for you, or at least we hope. We've got over 1,500 of these. We'll continue to add as often as we can. And this is basically if you're emotionally repressed or repressed in any way. Repression is when we kind of turn down emotions for the benefit of either avoiding conflict or avoiding ridicule. And so there are many ways to know if you are repressed. If you are dealing with emotional, physical, psychological repression, working with a coach and or a team of people, including more traditional therapists as well as coaching, can be a great way to kind of get yourself, in a good way towards resolving those challenges. So the first thing to look at there, and if you're interested in help with that or other challenges you may be having, please feel free to reach out at PO Perception on Twitter or in the About Me section of this YouTube page. The first is you don't really express what you're truly interested in a passionate way. You will either dial back the way that you communicate in a effort to try and get people to like you or accept you in a greater way, or you may even begin to see yourself as someone who doesn't necessarily deserve the right to express your likes and dislikes. And so dialing yourself back and or making yourself more silent is a sign of a certain level of repression. Guilt and shame associated with the idea of expressing how you feel, whether that be how you feel about an emotional topic, whether that be how you feel about people in terms of romantic attraction, physical attraction, and or any sort of expression of opinion that's really strong. So the strength of the expression can often make a person feel the need to repress themselves, mainly because there's a challenge, in a positive way there. And there's value in that way, in a strong and associative manner. And knowing how to do that, looking at that, and being able to do that in a good way can be super valuable and kind of focused on, identifying the ways at which you're getting stuck in the middle of value. And the ideal in that manner is to identify the things that may be holding you back, the things that you may be struggling with, the things that you don't want to deal with, and or just fearing the ideas that people have about you or the misconceptions they may have, motivated by fear, motivated by shame of expressing how you feel and not finding agreement, getting into the idea of fantasizing of being a different person and or being able to express yourself more openly and freely. A lot of time fantasy replaces the reality of how a person wishes they could express themselves, mainly because the fear of rejection is the motivating factor that causes people to interact in a certain way. And when the fear of connection and or rejection becomes the dominant force in a person's life, they do not seek to be in a good manner about kind of moving forward in a strong way, or in a manner that can ultimately lead them to be more focused on identifying the things that need to happen, and or the manner at which a person feels they are out of balance or can be negatively influenced by others. The fear is the motivating factor in a lot of cases. Not feeling as though what their opinion is will matter, or their interest level will matter to the other person, is another factor that can ultimately lead to a whole lot of challenges for the average person. And it's not necessarily because one over another, like one person's opinion or value is more than another. It's more that the average person begins to see themselves as, in some way, needing to repress themselves in order to find agreement or acceptance from others, and that can become overwhelming for a number of reasons. So hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you, keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.